เจนนี่น่ารักที่สุดในโลกเลยรักเจนที่สุดในโลกเลยก็ไม่อยากให้เจนคิดมากเรื่องพายอะ
ไม่คิดมากแล้วเจนรู้ว่าลินรักเจนรักลินถึงได้รอลินมาตั้ง8 ปี
Episode 5 of My Safe Zone unfolds with a kind of quiet tension that hides beneath ordinary days. Small moments that seem harmless at first, yet carry the power to shift everything between two people who have never fully said what's in their hearts.
โรงพยาบาลนะคะไม่น่าจะหักค่ะแต่อาจจะร้าวแต่ลินไม่อยากให้เสียงานนะคะ
ไม่เป็นไรเลยถ้าเกิดว่าวันนี้ต้องยกกองเนี่ยเดี๋ยวไอล่าหาคิววันอื่นให้ก็ได้ค่ะ
The episode begins with Lin moving through her morning like someone trying to keep her emotions neatly tucked away. She tells herself she's fine, that she's in control, that the past she carries won't spill into the present.
โทษนะเจนเดินไม่ดู
ไม่มีเจนเนี่ยทุกอย่างก็คงจะราบรื่นดีนะคะไม่เห็นเป็นไรเลยเดี๋ยวหายก็ทำงานได้
But her resolve falters the moment she sees Jane. It's in the way her breath catches just slightly, the way her shoulders stiffen as if bracing for a wave she knows is coming.
ลินเจ็บแค่เนี้ยดีกว่าเจนเป็นอะไรนะ
เพี้ยงหาย
เพี้ยงรักลินหลงลิน
Jane notices, of course, she always does, but instead of confronting it, she watches Lin with a cautious tenderness, as though she is afraid that pushing too hard might cause Lin to retreat even further.
ก็เจนบอกว่าจะทำให้ทุกอย่าง
บ้าจะล้างแก้ว
ไม่แกล้งหรอกก็ได้
Jane has grown used to the rhythm of Lin's walls. When they rise, when they thin, when they quietly break without warning. At first, their interactions are filled with that familiar awkwardness, those quick exchanges that linger just a bit too long, the soft brush of their hands when they reach for the same materials, the stolen glances each pretends not to notice. And yet, beneath all of it, there's a warmth beginning to bloom again, the kind of warmth that had once defined their friendship before everything became complicated. They fall into a quiet rhythm while working, Jane teasing Lin about her overly neat notes, Lin rolling her eyes but unable to hide the small smile tugging at her lips. There's laughter, gentle, unguarded, the kind that breaks through Lin's carefully constructed defenses. For a moment, it feels like they've returned to a version of themselves they almost forgot. But the episode does not let them stay in that comfort for long. A small misunderstanding, so trivial it wouldn't matter to anyone else, triggers something deeper in Lin. A comment, a misinterpreted gesture, a reminder of a hurt she never processed. A comment, a gesture, a reminder of a hurt she never processed. Suddenly, Lin shuts down, retreating into that familiar silence that Jane has grown to dread. Her voice becomes clipped, her eyes avoidant. She withdraws not just from the project, but from Jane herself. Jane feels the shift instantly, like a door quietly closing in her face. She tries to pretend it doesn't sting, but the ache settles in her chest. She knows Lin's distance is never about her, but that knowledge doesn't soften the pain. And for the rest of the day, Jane watches Lin from afar, feeling the space between them, widen inch by inch. As evening falls, fate or maybe feelings they can no longer run from, Lin stands alone, shoulders heavy, lost in her thoughts. Jane approaches with quiet steps, not wanting to startle her, not wanting to make things worse. What follows is the heart of the episode. Jane's voice is gentle, but her question cuts straight to the truth. Lin, why do you keep pulling away from me? Lin freezes. It's clear she didn't expect Jane to ask, didn't expect her to be this brave. The silence that follows feels fragile, stretch thin between them. Lin tries to answer, but her throat tightens. Words fail her, and all that remains is the look in her eyes, raw, conflicted, full of emotions she still refuses to name. Jane doesn't push. She steps closer, offering patience instead of pressure, understanding instead of frustration. She stands beside Lin like a shelter, quiet, steady, unwavering. And in that moment, something softens. Lin's posture loosens, her gaze drifts towards Jane, and what passes between them is something more honest than anything they've said aloud. A silent truth, a shared fear, a longing neither expected to rise so strongly between them. The episode ends on that fragile, intimate note. Two silhouettes standing in the dim light, closer than they've been in a long time, yet still not close enough to bridge everything left unsaid. Episode 5 doesn't give dramatic explosions or fierce confessions. Instead, it gives something far more powerful. The slow, the trembling, unraveling of two hearts edging towards each other, hesitant but hopeful, wounded but willing. And for Lin and Jane, this feels like the beginning of something they can no longer run from.
Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.